Dear parents, families, and community of HES Academies, I welcome you to another live broadcast of our family engagement online session. Today is April 17, 2020, and I am Mr. Wissam Sharafuddin, the Family Engagement and Community Liaison at HES Academies, and with me Mr. Hussein Amer, the Family Engagement and Community Liaison at Universal Academy, and Mr. Saamer Sirhan, the Family Engagement Liaison at Star International Academy. Hussein Amer at Star International Academy, and Ms. Jumana Hamadi, the Assistant Principal at Star International Academy, and Dr. Ali Ajami, the Family Engagement Community Liaison at HES Academies. And we are happy to present to you today a presentation about mental health. أعزائي أهالي وعوائل ومجتمع مدارس حمادة التعليمية، نرحب بكم في بث مباشر جديد للإشراك الأسري لمدارس حمادة التعليمية. ومعي هنا في البث المباشر الأستاذ حسين عامر والأستاذ سامر سرحان، منسقي الإشراك الأسري في مدرسة ستار انترناشونال أكاديمي، والسيدة جمانة حمادي مساعدة المدير في مدرسة ستار انترناشونال أكاديمي، وحضرة السفير الدكتور علي عجمي ممثل التنسيق الأسري والإشراك الأسري والتنسيق الاجتماعي في مدارس حمادة التعليمية. وسوف نقدم لكم اليوم عرض قصير حول موضوع الصحة العقلية، وسوف يقدم هذا العرض باللغة الإنجليزية الأستاذ سامر سرحان، مترجما للعربية من قبل فضيلة الدكتور علي عجمي. Mr. Sarhan, go ahead.
Well, good morning, everybody. My fellow colleague, Mr. Sharafuddin, and all the parents, community members that are watching this today. Today's topic is about mental health, which is something that's very relevant, I think, today, regarding, especially during the time of quarantine and the COVID-19 virus spreading. I'm sure a lot of people are stressed out, they're anxious, they're in fear. So what better topic to speak about than, how to maintain a positive mental health. In table of contents, just some things we're going to be hitting the most during this discussion today. The definition of mental health, some facts about mental health, the causes of mental health issues, and preventing those issues, the ways we can prevent them from becoming a major problem.
اوكي، بالبداية بدي رحب بجميع الأهالي اللي شاركونا، وبتمنى انه تكون هالأزمة اللي عم تمرق بعيدة عنا. بعرف انه بهذا الأوضاع الصعبة اللي عم نعيشها يمكن أكثر شيء عم نقدر نتقابل عبر الإنترنت. مش من هالمنطلق كانت الفكرة انه نطلع بموضوع الفاميلي انجيجمنت والبي دي سيشنز اونلاين. بتمنى تمرق الازمه على خير، بتمنى نرجع كيف كنا سابقا، نرجع نلتقي وترجع الاحوال لطبيعتها. الحلقه اليوم موضوع حول موضوع الصحه العقليه. الموضوع جدير بالانتباه، جدير بالمتابعة، خاصة بظل الضغط والتوتر اللي عم نعيشه نتيجة السجن الانفرادي اللي انجبرنا عليه. إن شاء الله يعني نقدر نقدم ولو معلومات بسيطة حول هذا الموضوع خلال هالحلقة. أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا. يا وسام. يعني خلال الحلقة راح نحكي عن تعريفات بتتعلق بالصحة العقلية، شو الحقيقة المرتبطة فيها، وشو أبرز المشاكل اللي بتودي لحدوث يعني هيك أزمات، وشو الأساليب اللي ممكن نلجأ لها لمنع والحد من هذه المشاكل.
Okay, so starting up, before we begin, just a little disclaimer. I think none of us here are experts on mental health. I mean, we're not psychiatrists or anything like that by profession, but this is all based on research that we conducted when preparing this PD. So hopefully we will get a benefit of it, both us and whoever's viewing this presentation today. So we start off with a quotation here, quote, health isn't just about what you eat, it's also about what you are thinking and feeling too. So that pretty much sums it up. It's not about our physical being healthy, which of course is important as well. And also ties in with, being mentally healthy as well. But also mental health is about thinking and feeling great about yourself too, not just in a physical sense, but in a spiritual, mental sense as well.
بدي أكد اللي تفضل فيه مستر سرحان، أنه بالمستقبل بالتأكيد سنكون بحاجة إلى أخصائيين في الموضوعات التي نطرحها. عنوان عريض أنه الصحة عن جد مش بس باللي بناكله. to be عن جد healthy لكي تكون صحيحا بالفعل، الصحة ترتبط بدرجة أكبر الطريقة التي تفكر فيها وبما تشعر به. فإذا الصحة ليست فيما تأكله فقط، وإنما فيما تفكر وما تشعر به أيضا.
Okay, so the definition of mental health, according to, I think, Wikipedia, so mental health is the level of psychological well-being or an absence of mental illness. So it is a state of someone who is functioning at a satisfactory level of emotional and behavioral adjustment. From a psychological perspective, mental health is an individual's ability to create a balance in life that leads to self-satisfaction, happiness, and resilience. So it's all training our mind on how to react, how to adapt to everyday life and the challenges that come with it. Like, for example, the challenge we are living in today, the quarantine and so forth. According to the World Health Organization, which we've been hearing about a lot on the news, mental health enables the individual to realize their abilities and potential to cope with the normal stresses of life and contribute productive work to society. So again, having good mental health means I'm able to live an ordinary life, to get by with my daily routines, to cope with the challenges, the stresses that I will face on a daily basis. And I'm able to contribute and be very productive in society and be an active member of my community.
التعريف بموضوع الصحة العقلية بنسميها كمان الصحة النفسية، ممكن نسميها الصحة الذهنية. هي بمعنى مبسط جدا هي أن نكون بلا مرض عقلي. so simple. بهالبساطة الصحة العقلية هي أن نكون بلا مرض عقلي. هي أنه الشخص اللي كيف ممكن نقول عن إنسان أنه صحيح عقليا عندما يستطيع أن يتكيف عاطفيا وسلوكيا بالمحيط اللي عايش فيه بمستوى مقبول. كمان هي قدرة أي إنسان أن يخلق توازن بحياته بين ما يرضيه وبين ما يؤدي إلى سعادته والمرونة بحياته. المنظمة الصحة العالمية بتقول إنه الصحة العقلية هي عبارة عن إمكانية الفرد أن يدرك شو قدرته وشو إمكاناته، وأنه يتكيف مع محيطه، وأن يساهم بالعمل المنتج للمجتمع. مجددا، عندما نقول أن إنسانا ما هو صحيح عقليا، يعني أنه قادر على التكيف بمحيطه وقادر على أداء واجباته بطريقة مقبولة ترضي نفسه وترضي المحيط اللي حوله.
Okay, so these are some important facts about mental health. Again, this is all based on research that we conducted online. Mentally healthy, and Mr. Amer, Mr. Hamad, if you want to jump in anytime, please do so. So mentally healthy individuals tend to have better medical health, better productivity, and social relationships. Mental illness refers to all the diagnosable disorders, and it's characterized by abnormalities in thinking, feelings, or behaviors. The most common types of mental illness include anxiety, severe stress, depression, manic depression, substance abuse, people who take drugs, who just abuse different substances. That's all signs of mental disorder. While everyone experiences sadness, so everyone experiences sadness, anxiety. These are all normal things. When we're anxious, it doesn't mean I'm mentally disabled or whatever. It doesn't mean that at all. We all experience stress. We all experience depression, but it's how we react to it again. So, it's the again. So when everyone experiences sadness, anxiety, irritability, moodiness at times, moods, thoughts, behaviors, or use of substance that interfere with a person's ability to function well physically, socially, at work, at school, at home, are characteristics of mental illness. So how we react to it, how it affects us in our environment, whether it's at work, at school, at home, that is what might lead to mental illness. Someone wanted
and we always got to understand that, with all these things that are listed out, everybody has their own anxiety. Everybody has all these things that are already at a day-to-day basis, especially with being in these times where we're locked in these houses and not supposed to be going anywhere. The biggest thing is just to realize how far is enough, and the things that your body needs to feel okay, because even the simple getting up, getting a shave, getting a haircut, whatever you can do, yourself feel better sometimes is enough to relieve those kind of anxieties and those stresses. So it's not something where people start to think, oh, I'm anxious. I have a serious problem now. Everybody has it. Everybody gets anxious. Everybody has these little tendencies, all these stresses that go on in their day-to-day lives. It's just now where we are able to take a step back, assess the situation of where we're at, and kind of move forward in a point where it's comfortable for us to feel better.
And just to add on to that, people who don't have the capacity to deal with these stresses, these people usually have a disorder, like a mental disorder, that they could resolve through treatment, through maybe going through a psychiatrist, taking some medication, and so on and so forth. So there are cases like that. Dr. Ajami.
بعض الحقائق حول موضوع الصحة العقلية. كيف ممكن نفرق بين الناس اللي بنعتبرهم أصحاء عقليا وبين اللي عندهم اضطرابات بهالمسألة؟ ببساطة، الأفراد الأصحاء عقليا هن اللي بيكون عندهم القدرة على الإنتاجية، القدرة على بناء علاقات اجتماعية أفضل، وتكون عندهم صحة طيبة. هذه الفئة منسميها أصحاء عقليا. أما الأشخاص الذين يمكن أن يعانوا من اضطرابات بموضوع الصحة العقلية، فهن بيتميزوا بخلل بالتفكير، بالمشاعر، بالسلوك. هول الفرق جوهري بين الحالتين. أكثر أنواع الأمراض العقلية شيوعا هو القلق، الاكتئاب، واضطرابات المرتبطة بتعاطي المخدرات. هون في ملاحظة كثير جوهرية حكيوا عنها الشباب، انه بظل الأزمة الراهنة اللي عم نعيشها، السجن القسري في البيوت، عدم التواصل مع الأصدقاء، عدم الذهاب إلى العمل إلى آخره، هذه تلقائيا تخلق حالة اكتئاب، تخلق حالة توتر داخلي، تخلق حالة قلق. هل هذا يعني انه نحن اي واحد عم يحس بهذه المسائل صار عنده مشكلة بالصحة العقلية؟ الجواب طبعا لا. كيف منميز متى يصبح القلق والاكتئاب والحزن والمزاجية هي سبيل أو تؤدي إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية؟ عندما تتداخل هذه الأمور كلها مع قدرتك كإنسان على أن تعمل بشكل جيد. يعني إذا أصابك قلق أو حزن أو اكتئاب بس بعدك قادر تقوم بعملك بشكل طبيعي، وأنك تمارس حياتك الاجتماعية مع أهلك مع أصدقائك إن كان داخل البيت أو المدرسة بشكل عادي، فإذا أنت خارج إطار المرض العقلي. ولكن إذا أدت هذه جميعا إلى اختلال بتوازن الإنسان الداخلي، بقدرته على العطاء، بقدرته على التفاعل مع محيطه، ساعتها بيكون ضمن هذه الفئة. علما أنه الأفراد الذين يصابون بأمراض عقلية هن معرضين دائما لأخطار كبيرة من التحديات، ولكن يمكن باستمرار التقليل من هذه المخاطر بشكل دائم بشكل كبير من خلال المعالجة.
كمان أنا بحب زيد شيء على تفضل فيه دكتور عجمي and the other deans، هي المقدرة على التكيف مع أي تغيير سريع ومفاجئ بحياتنا اليومية. يعني خاصة هالأيام اللي عم نمر فيها هلا، كنا معودين every day على 7:30 نكون موجودين بالمدرسة، بدنا نلحق السكادجول العادي اللي هو عنا. هلا هالتغيير المفاجئ اللي صار بنمط حياتنا كمان بأكد لنا قديش نحن عنا قدرة إنه نكيف حالنا مع هالتغيير السريع. يا ترى are we still waking up early at 7:30 being in front of our screens ready for any schedule for any assignment؟ هذا كمان بيميزنا عن أي تصرف تاني أو تغيير مفاجئ تاني daily discipline and behavior.
Beautifully said. So moving on to the next segment of the topic, the causes of mental illness. So there are different factors. There are different causes of mental illness based on the different factors, about maybe 3 or 4 factors altogether. The first factor is biological. So genetics, according to, the medical experts, mental illness it can be inherited from generation to generation, from parent to a child. So genetics could be a root factor in mental illness or mental issues. Prenatal brain damage or damage accrued before birth, children that are born with Down syndrome or any other defect like that, that is, of course, an essential cause of mental illness. Brain defects developed due to injury. So, for example, people who play in sports who might get a concussion, that could lead to permanent brain damage or maybe temporary even. Depends on what kind of treatment they receive. Excessive substance abuse, when it's done excessively, like addicts of drug addicts, alcohol addicts, those sort of people. Poor nutrition, exposure to toxins. People who work in toxic work environments, factories or whatever. Poor nutrition. If you're not getting your daily dose of, your vitamins, your proteins, and so on and so forth, that may cause deficiency in your mental capacity or your mental capabilities.
اوكي، بالفقرات التالية رح نحكي عن اسباب اللي بتؤدي لمشاكل بالصحة العقلية. في عندنا مجموعة من العوامل، 3 أو 4 مجموعات. أول مجموعة هي العوامل البيولوجية. من أبرز العوامل البيولوجية اللي بتسبب مشاكل بالصحة العقلية أسباب وراثية. يعني أثبتوا العلماء أنه موضوع الصحة العقلية قد يكون متوارث بالجينات، يعني من أب لأولاده إلى آخره. سبب آخر هو التلف الذي يحدث للدماغ قبل الولادة، أو أي ضرر حاصل قبل الولادة بتأثر تلقائيا على الجنين، وطبيعي بتترك أثار عليه بس يكبر، مثل داون سيندروم. إذا تعرض إنسان ما لحادث سير أو لحادث ما، أصيب بجراح، أصيب من خلال حادث، قد تؤدي إلى عيوب دماغية. الإفراط بتعاطي المخدرات كمان، وهذه شغلة متعارف عليها، أنه كلما أدمن الإنسان أكثر على تعاطي المخدرات تؤثر تلقائيا على صحته العقلية. وآخر عامل من العوامل البيولوجية هو سوء التغذية والعمل في محيط يتعرض من خلاله للسموم. يعني مثل ما قال مستر سرحان، إذا كان واحد بيشتغل بمعامل فيها مواد سامة قد تؤدي هذه إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية.
Okay, so moving on to the next factor, psychological factors, which I think is one of the most important factor behind mental disorders. Severe psychological trauma suffered as a child. You know, children who are victims of emotional, physical, or even sexual abuse. You know, they're being, you know, severely bullied as children. You know, it could be at home, could be at school, it could be, you know, anywhere pretty much. That could lead to a long-term mental disorder. Important early loss, such as loss of a parent. You know, people who go through traumatic experiences, you know, living in a war-torn country, you know, witnessing, you know, death and all that. I mean, that could lead to mental illness. Neglect, feeling neglected by parents, by loved ones. You know, kids who are abandoned by their families, so on and so forth. And also poor ability to relate to others. So people with the social anxiety, who are extremely antisocial, they could lead to loneliness. And of course, loneliness could lead to having a mental issue, because, you know, through socializing with other people, you know, that you know, leads to, you know, I mean, building a social environment, building a social life, which could lead to self-satisfaction, self-happiness.
And just one thing, Samir, Mr. Sirhan, you know, that's a very important topic there, just because we want to go back for the first slide that we talked about. You know, one of the biggest things was, if you feel physically that and emotionally that I'm set, I feel good with where I'm at, and I'm not making any productions or nothing to help with society or do anything in my life, then, you know, that means there's something going on there. If we're going to sit here and, you know, one of the biggest issues in a society is not being able to relate with somebody, because in reality, you can learn everything off these books. You can go and do whatever you want, but if you cannot talk to the person in front of you or around you, you can't handle yourself in the workplace. You can't handle yourself in the school place. You can't handle yourself at home. You can't handle yourself with families, because your body is so set to be accustomed to be sitting in front of this chair for 10 hours of the day, or doing this specific one thing. And this, all those little things are what leads to a bigger process here. So, you know, just something so small that you can take away from all this is just get out, change your habits, get moving. Because when we think that we're not able to relate with others, it's a problem. We become closed in our own cages.
اوكي. رح نحكي عن جانب آخر من الأسباب التي تؤدي إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية، اللي هي العوامل النفسية. حكينا قبل عن العوامل البيئية البيولوجية، هلا العوامل النفسية. إذا تعرض طفل لصدمة شديدة مثل تعرضه لاعتداء جسدي، اعتداء جنسي، أو اعتداء عاطفي، هذا الأمر يؤدي إلى حدوث صدمة نفسية داخله، وينتج عنا أسباب، ينتج عنا مشاكل بالصحة العقلية. عامل آخر هو إذا تعرض الإنسان لخسارة مبكرة بحياته، مثل أنه يتوفى أبوه أو أمه، هذه بتعمل شوك، بتعمل صدمة بحياته، بتأثر على العقلية. عامل آخر وكتير مهم هو إحساس الإنسان، وخاصة منذ مرحلة الطفولة، بأنه متجاهل، أن لا يتلقى الاهتمام الكافي من الآخرين، أن يتم الاستخفاف به من قبل الآخرين. وآخر عامل قدامنا من العوامل النفسية هو ضعف قدرة الإنسان على التواصل مع الآخرين. هذه كلها مجموعة من العوامل النفسية التي تؤدي إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية.
Okay, so moving on to the next factor, environmental factors, death or divorce. So people who go through, again, losing a loved one, losing a family member, someone that's dear to them, could lead to, developing mental issues. Going through a tough divorce for either the man or the woman could lead to that as well. Living through a dysfunctional family life, where parents are constantly fighting in the house, probably. Maybe a parent is absent, living with a single parent who's having trouble keeping up. Living with under parents who are substance abusers. I mean, again, these are all causes for mental issues down the road. Feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, anxiety, anger, or loneliness. So again, it all depends on how we think, how we feel. Like we said in the beginning of our presentation, if you have a low self-esteem, then you don't think highly of yourself, then how do you expect people to think highly of you? Because it all starts with you. How do you believe in yourself? It all starts with you. And so if you have that feeling of I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I'm not whatever, then yes, you are putting yourself into a situation where you might end up with, or you could end up with mental issues. Failure to live up to social and cultural expectations. Like for example, society expects me to behave in a certain way. I can't behave in that certain way. I have my own belief system. I have my own ways of living, whatever. That could lead to you feeling left out, singled out, an outcast in society. Again, that is all about, getting pushed to the side. That could lead to you experiencing mental issues as well. And the last one, of course, is substance abuse, like we mentioned before. Getting addicted to different substance, drugs, and so forth. That also, of course, is a big factor in mental issues.
الجانب الآخر من الأسباب التي تؤدي إلى المشاكل بالصحة العقلية هي العوامل المرتبطة بالمحيط، بالمجتمع، البيئة اللي حوالينا. إذا تعرض إنسان خلال حياته لحصول وفاة شخص عزيز عليه، أو حالة طلاق ضمن العائلة، قد تؤدي إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية. إذا عاش الإنسان حياة غير متوازنة، حياة عائلية فيها اختلال، غير متكاملة، كمان هذا عامل آخر. شعور الإنسان بالنقص، عدم شعوره بالاحترام لنفسه، إحساسه بالقلق، إحساسه بالغضب، إحساسه بالوحدة، كمان هذه عوامل أخرى. أن يفشل الإنسان بأن يكون على مستوى توقعات الاجتماعية أو الثقافية بحياته، يعني ما يتطلبه المجتمع منا، إذا لم نكن قادرين على أن نكون بهذا المستوى من التوقعات، كمان هذا بتؤدي إلى أسباب، إلى مشاكل بالصحة العقلية. وأخيرا موضوع يمكن الأكثر خطورة هو مسألة تعاطي المخدرات وأثره البالغ على مشاكل الصحة العقلية.
Okay, so I guess this is the last slide, the last segment of our presentation, how to prevent mental issues. So the first one obviously is, of course, if it gets to the point where it's out of hand, it's extremely severe, then yes, definitely seeking medical attention is necessary at that point. You know, psychiatrists, you know, I mean, that is the avenue to take for sure. Taking care of your physical health. So again, as we mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, it all ties in together. I mean, as human beings, we have to remember that we are made up of different components, two of which are your physical self and your emotional, mental self. So taking care of your physical health, you know, taking care of your body, you know, exercising, eating well, that would lead to you developing a good mental strength as well, not just physically, but mentally as well. Surrounding yourself with positive influences. So again, like they say, choose the friends that will uplift you instead of putting you down. That's very important, because the people that you surround yourself with, you know, they could either elevate you or, you know, bring you down. So you want to pick people that will elevate you. Positive influence is very important. Assist others who are facing challenges and issues. So when you give a helping hand to other people, it's like a back and forth. It's like a give and take. So you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll have others come to assist you when you're in need as well. Again, it's all about tying in with the developing a social life for yourself. You know, people are important in your life. We must remember that all times. Practicing coping skills that will eliminate stress, such as exercising, reading, visiting loved ones, maybe watching a movie, listening to your favorite music, maybe playing an instrument. You know, there's different things you can do to make yourself feel good, whatever that makes you feel good. You know, visiting, relatives, talking on the phone with your family overseas, whatever makes you feel good about yourself, do it. You know, that helps you cope with those day stresses. You know, just laughing, letting it go. Don't overthink things. Just, you know, everything will be fine. Just having that belief that it's not always the end of the road for me. You know, every day we live through ups and downs. You're not going to live at the up at all times. You're not going to be down all the time. It's like it always goes up and down life. That's how it is. So believing that when I'm down, there's going to be me rising back up to the top again. That's going to happen as well. So with that, you know, believing in that would help you overcome the challenges that you're facing on a day-to-day basis. I guess that was it. That was the last part. Dr. Ajami or Mr. Amer, if you have anything to add.
No, I think you hit that last slide pretty good, Mr. Sirhan. I agree with everything that you're saying. Even a simple take outside, look outside the mirror, take a deep breath. I mean, that's more than just staring at one wall or a TV all day, or not doing something to change the mood. I know that, you know, body and human nature, it takes 30 to 40 days to either make a habit or break a habit. So if we've been doing the same thing day in and day out, especially now and during these times where we're locked into these houses, we're not able to go anywhere. Sometimes even going to see your loved ones is not an option. So you need to break that loop for yourself to kind of just make yourself feel better, because at the end of the day, if you don't feel better, your body doesn't feel better, no one around you is going to feel better. It's just not good for you.
I mean, and I mean, we're fortunate enough that we're not restricted from exiting our houses. You know, like you can still walk around your neighborhood. You can, you know, like for example, myself, I over the last couple of weeks, I've been shopping around. I built a gym in my garage just to keep myself, you know, active. I bought a bike. I mean, just biking around your neighborhood, just stepping out of the house, just going on a cruise, just maybe even getting in your car, just driving to the market, which you're able to still go to, buying groceries. I mean, just stepping out of the bubble that you're in, outside the four walls, that would help you nourish your spirit, your mind, your body, just whatever you can do during this time. I mean, we're all in together, like we always say.
قبل ما انتقل لاخر فقره، بس بدي اعلق شغله على اللي قالها سامر. اتس انترستينج. ممكن حتى نحن وببيوتنا حتى لو كنا عاجزين عن الخروج لأسباب تتعلق بالأوضاع اللي عم نعيشها، بس ممكن ببساطة نحاول القيام بنشاطات ضمن البيت، اونلاين اكتيفيتيز بتخلينا نوسع ابواب السجن اللي عايشين فيه، ان نخترق اسوار هذا السجن الالزامي اللي فرض علينا او فرضناه على انفسنا نتيجه للظروف، وننطلق من خلال هذه النشاطات، ان كان بالقراءه، ان كان نشاطات ثقافيه، ان كان بالتواصل الاجتماعي الى اخره الى اخره، ان نخرج من داخلنا لبرا، يعني أن نحول هذا السجن الإلزامي إلى محيط واسع من التفاعل مع محيطنا الخارجي. للعودة لآخر فقرة، نحن بعد ما حكينا عن العوامل المختلفة التي تؤدي إلى حدوث مشاكل عقلية، مشاكل بالصحة العقلية، آخر فقرة بالعرض عنا هي كيف نمنع حدوث هذه المشاكل بالصحة العقلية، أو كيف نحد منها. أول نقطة هي أنه نطلب الرعاية الطبية. إذا أحس أحد منا في عنده بعض الدوافع التي تستدعي رعاية طبية فليطلب ذلك. نقطة ثانية، المحافظة على صحة الجسد. طبيعة الحال أنه العقل ليس مفصول عن الجسد، والجسد ليس منفصل عن العقل. الجسد والعقل مع بعض هن بيكونوا مع بعضهم الإنسان، وكل واحد بيعتمد على الآخر. مشان هيك بيقولوا أنه العقل السليم في الجسم السليم. ضرورة أن نقوم بالمحافظة على صحة الجسد كي تؤدي إلى صحة العقل. نقطة ثالثة، يعني خليك محاوط نفسك بمؤثرات إيجابية. يعني تفضل شوفوا شو الفرق بين ما يكون عندك مثلا مثل ما قال سامر، يكون عندك أصدقاء أو محيط قادر ينزلك لتحت الأرض، بينما عندك مجموعة أخرى من الأصدقاء من المحيط الذي يستطيع أن يطير بك إلى السماء. أي أفضل؟ طبيعي الأفضل أن نحافظ على أن نكون محاطين بمن يحدث تأثيرات إيجابية بحياتنا، مش تأثيرات سلبية تنزلنا إلى الأعماق. نقطة أخرى، أن نساعد الآخرين لما نحس أنهم عم يواجهوا مشاكل وتحديات. هذه بتعطيك إحساس بالرضا أنك أنت تقوم بواجب ما تجاه الآخرين. أن تقوم بمهارات التأقلم، أن تمارس مهارات للتأقلم مع ما يدور حولك حتى تقضي على الإجهاد، مثل تمارين رياضية، القراءة، مثل زيارة من تحب. هلا نحن محرومين من زيارة من نحب، وسوى ذلك. نقطة أخرى، ما تبالغ بالتفكير، لا تجهد هالراس. الدماغ عنده قدرة، إذا أعطيته فوق طاقته ممكن أن تكون له نتائج عكسية. دائما خلي عقلك هادي، لا تبالغ في التفكير في الأمور. آمن بنفسك، آمن بقدراتك. ونقطة أخيرة وضرورية ودائما منشدد عليها، تجنب المخدرات. لا تذهب في هذا الطريق مهما كان الثمن، لأنه مخاطره مش بس على الصحة العقلية، على الحياة، على الصحة الجسدية، مخاطره لا حدود لها. هذه كانت آخر فقرة من فقرات العرض تبعنا اليوم.
I'd like to add one more thing to what Dr. Ajami just said. في ممكن نحكي انجليزي عربي. بالنسبه انه المحافظه على انه الواحد يعني ما يفكر too much، ما يفكر كثير باللي عم بيصير. تلفزيون, what we see on the news every day, you know, just turn off the news. Try not to read the news too much, because the news will depress you. Like you know, from my own experiences, I know people who are constantly watching TV. Oh, there's this many deaths in America right now. There's this many cases in Michigan. Is that okay? Why do we need to go all this updates? Just don't overthink that. You know, think about, you know, improving your own self. You know, like, you know, your loved ones. Stay with, just, you know, don't read through that too much, because it will mess up your brain easily.
أنا بدي أكد على حسين بس كلمة صغيرة بدي أكد على اللي قاله سامر، إنه بعده عن التلفزيون، بعده عن الأخبار، بعده عن كل، يعني عم جد راسنا صار خلية من المعلومات ومن الأخبار عن الكورونا فيروس، عدد الإصابات هون وهون وهون وهون، وشو اللقاحات وشو العلاجات وشو، لدرجة إنه رح ننفجر. اذهبوا باتجاه القراءة، ليس أجمل من القراءة، باب يفتح لك عوالم مختلفة، مساحات من الرضا، من الراحة، من التطور الفكري. ابعد عن راسك هذه ما تحدثه السوشيال ميديا وما يحدثه متابعة الأخبار من أزمات داخلية. أخي حسين.
Afwan, Wallah, thank you guys, everybody. Great points. I just following up with one of the comments that were left here that we just wanted to touch up again. It's important to recognize that everyone will feel these things from time to time. It's when these feelings overwhelm will overwhelm them and are persistent that they become an issue. And this is something that we kind of talked about at the beginning of this presentation, which is extremely, extremely important. People might think, again, anxiety, depression, sadness, all these things, they already exist on our day-to-day lives, whether we're in this lockdown or not. It's just the fact that how we're dealing with them, and to recognize that if you're feeling bad, it's okay. Everybody feels bad. It's just go outside, take a breath.
We're all human.
Take a walk. Talk to somebody on the phone. It's okay. I mean, essentially, some people like to count the dots on the ceiling to kind of calm them down. Everybody has their own coping mechanisms. It's perfectly fine. But to say that, oh, I'm feeling sad today, I might have a mental issue, that's a problem. That's, sometimes we over stress something so much where we make it our own reality. And that's something we really, really do not want to do. Enjoy your time. You feel stressed out, figure out something that makes you less stressed, whether it's a cup of coffee, walk outside, or whatever the mechanisms that you guys have. But at the end of the day, just remember, like Mr. Sarhan and Dr. Ajami and everybody else have said, everybody here, we're all humans. We all go through specific things, and we're all here for each other. At the end of the day, we just need to make sure that we're all safe. And when anybody needs some help, we're there to help each other.
Exactly. I mean, we take our precautions, and then whatever else is out of our controls, just, again, keep the faith, and you'll be all right, inshallah.
بعد بس نقطة صغيرة وسام قبل ما نخلص. واحد بفيق الصبح ما بوشي بيقول أنا مجنون، وبعد ساعة والله أنا مجنون، بعد ساعتين والله أنا مجنون، على يومين 3 4 5 بصير عن جد مجنون. يعني خلينا نعود حالنا انه لا، مثل ما قال حسين، نحن ناس اصحاء ما نتعرض له من مشاكل. هذا امر يعني في ازمه حاصله علينا جميعا، علينا ان نتاقلم معها، ان نتعايش معها، ان ناخذ معها ما يكون في لصالحنا. كنت تعرفوا اللي صار بهذه الازمه كلها قرب العائلات بعضها لبعض.
big time.
الاهالي احيانا البي والاولاد والام ما بيلتقوا الا نادرا. هلا صاروا بوجه بعضهم،
هلا
يمكن صار في مشاكل كثير، بس انه
هلا ما عنده الخيار.
في ايجابي كبير يعني بهالموضوع. اوكي وسام.
شكرا للدكتور علي عجمي والاستاذ سامر سرحان والاستاذ حسين عامر لهذا العرض الجميل. Thank you for this beautiful presentation about mental health and for all the tips and pointers. Thank you, dear parents and community, for listening. We are going for 10 more minutes. I will be going over HES Academy with you, another resource that we are using. HES Academy is a website that was started by a Pakistani American engineer who was creating YouTube videos for his young relative in India to teach him some math. And then he noticed that there is a huge number of views that these videos are getting. So he started making them more, organizing them, and then started a website called HESAcademy.org. And then he got supported by some entrepreneurs and philanthropists, among which was Bill Gates. And Khan Academy became a huge platform for online learning. So it is used today as one of the main resources for online learning. And you guys feel free to stay with me and to input if you want. I just want to go over how do parents get access of Khan Academy and how do they get their access and monitor their children's activity. So let me share my screen over here. So basically, if this is your first time using Khan Academy, you will go to HESAcademy.org. Let me add the URL for you over here. And once you are in, you will see this screen. And basically, you'll hit the icon for parents. And then you will register either using your Google account or your Facebook, or basically just using your email. And after you enter, the next time you log in, you go to HESAcademy.org, you can just log in by clicking on login. So when you log in into Khan Academy and you hit the your icon at the top, your name in the top right corner, you will see a drop-down menu, one of which is Parent Dashboard. When you click on Parent Dashboard, it will open a screen for you like this. This screen will allow you to add a child. So now you can start adding your children. Basically, you enter their date of birth and you continue from there. If they already have an account, then you will enter their email that they've used to create the account, and it will ask the child to confirm adding you as a parent. So if they don't have an account already, or if they're under 13, then you can basically enter their email. And if your child doesn't have an email, you can click My Child Doesn't Have an Email. And then you can continue from there. I recommend using, if you haven't created a Khan Academy account, to use the school provided emails, because these are the same emails that the teachers in the future will create Khan Academy classes for your child. So it will guide you. If your kid already has an account, it will ask you to log out and let your child log in to confirm you as a parent, and then after the confirmation, you will have access. When you go to your children page again, you will see your children's usernames. And then you can click on each child and you can see their assignments, etc. I'm going to now show you live using my account how you access your account and what do you see when you share the Khan Academy. So I am logging in right now with my email.
Is this for parents or for students, for kids?
So this is for students, but parents can also log in to do two things. They can actually take courses themselves, and also they can monitor their kids' activities. So when I log into my to the account, this is how the page opens. It opens, welcome. This is my username, and then right away it tells me your children under here. So if I click on my children, it will show me the progress of that child. So this is my child's username, and this is the number of points that they have. So every time they're studying and they're doing quizzes on Khan Academy, and the time they spend on Khan Academy, it creates points. So I, for example, used to award my kids some points, telling them that if you get to 100,000 points, you'll get this gift. If you get to 150,000 points, you'll get this gift. Also, there is a system of badges. Let me click on this to show you. So each child, Khan Academy gives badges for certain accomplishments, small accomplishments. So a nice listener. They have, they've listened to some lectures on Khan Academy. When they got 100 points, they got a badge. So for different things, persistence, for keep trying something, creating double number lines. They were persistent and keep trying to pass that practice. So they got this persistence badge. So you see this on the top of your child's page. And then in the bottom, which is very important, it shows you the activities of your child. So let's say that you asked your children to do some work on Khan Academy, or the teacher asked them, you can always go and see the actual time that they have actually spent. Let's say in the last 30 days, it will tell you they had 77 total minutes, or 77 total exercises, 17 minutes total. And it shows you here the details of each video they watch and every exercise they have done. And if they took any quizzes, it will also show you the results of each one of these quizzes. And over here on the side, you will see the profile of your child. Again, it shows you the badges, the statistics. They have watched 56 videos. They joined 6 months ago. If they have any projects assigned, it will show up over here. And this is the streaks. So it shows you in a weekly basis. So this is 7 boxes for 7 days in April. It shows you how many days they have been actually using Khan Academy. And if you click on teachers, it will show you your kids' teachers. So the teachers will be on this side. And if you want to add a class for your child, you can add it here. So either the child can add it or you can add it. You can actually uncheck this box to not allow your child to add teachers themselves and for you to add teachers for them, or you can check it to allow your child to add teachers directly. But in both cases, you will see all the teachers over here. And if there are requests to add teachers, you just basically go and accept them over here. So that's basically Khan Academy. Now, how does Khan Academy look? It basically has all these courses. So let's say that it's math by grade or math by topic, science and engineering, arts, humanities. Let's say that my child is in 5th grade. So when I click on 5th grade, it will show me the decimal place value lessons, the add decimals, subtract decimals, all the details of the lessons that are for 5th grade. And once they start learning, so let's say that I'm getting started on this course. So it basically, this has a 1500 points that you can gain in this level. This is level 1, 375 points to level 2. So it's divided into levels. So basically you can practice and then review, and then you start the exercise. So there is a learn section and there is practice section. So when I learn, if I click on it, it will basically play the lesson for me.
What we're going to do in this is refresh our understanding of,
and the videos are usually 3 to 4 minutes. And then I can click next to go to the next lesson. This is a chart. It will explain the lesson. And then I can actually do a practice within the lesson. So basically this is a guided lesson, slide by slide. And then there is the practices over here. So when they start the practice, it will basically evaluate them. And if it feels that they're ready to go to the next lesson, it will. Otherwise, it will give them more practice. So every time they answer a question wrong, at the end, it will actually give them an exercise or practice to enhance their skills that they need to work on. One great thing about Khan Academy is instead of your child asking you for help when they're doing the problem, so let's say they're stuck here in this problem, they don't know what's the answer, they can always watch a video or use a hint. So if they click on that, it will give them 2 options. One is to watch the video again that will explain how to do this problem. or get a hint. If I click on get a hint, this question won't count towards your progress. So I can use the hint, but then it will give me an extra question at the end of the practice. So I can choose to use the hint or keep on thinking. Let's see the hint over here, and it will give me a hint. Let's use a place value chart to show the numbers 59.085. If I need another hint, I can even click here to get more hints. It will give me up to 4 hints before it won't give me any more hints, and it will ask me to basically do the exercise again. As I'm doing this, I'm learning. I have this tutor, which is in video, that's teaching me, is giving me hints, and once I pass this, I start a quiz. And once I pass this quiz, it takes me to the next lesson, decimals in expanded form. So Khan Academy has been proven to be a great asset for engaging your child during online learning, and also you can monitor them. And I encourage parents to actually have some sort of incentives. That's what teachers do in classrooms. But since your children are at home today, it would be a great opportunity to actually put incentives in place for your child. Or even you can use this as positive reinforcements, negative reinforcements. For example, as part of chores or a part of consequences. Let's say that they have, that's something I used to do when I was Dean of Students at Universal Academy, is that I would give an option for a student as a consequence. Would you like to serve an after-school detention for 90 minutes in a self-development center where you read self-help books and you do an assignment? Or would you like to give me 75,000 points from Khan Academy? And they would add me as a teacher, as a coach on Khan Academy, so I can monitor their progress. And, you know, I had a student who have done 150,000 points for me one time. This same student has sent me a message. Now he's an engineer, and he sent me a message telling me that I'm very glad for these, what do you call it, a mutual agreement consequence, that these options that you used to give me, because they strengthen my skills so much, and I owe it to my school that I have achieved what I have achieved today. So we have to incorporate now learning into our daily life. Khan Academy is a great resource for that. So if you need any help further than what I have explained in using Khan Academy, please reach out to us. I think we have run out of time, so I wouldn't have an opportunity to translate what I just said in Arabic. But if there is need, please leave us in our comments, and definitely we will share with you another presentation in Arabic. Any final words before we depart?
بس يعني عندي I just have one question. This Khan Academy is huge. It looks great, but is it official? What's the type of relation between this academy and our academies? Is there any link?
Yeah, so no, there is not an official link between us and them, but Khan Academy has been approved by HES Academies for use as a resource. Since Khan Academy almost started, like, I remember as soon as 2008 or 9 that we have approved Khan Academy as a resource for our children. Today, it's one of the biggest resources in the world, over 150 million videos, and a huge resource for learning.
Yeah.
And students use it all the way to college. It has advanced courses all the way to graduate studies.
But I mean يعني كل الدروس اللي بياخدها الطالب عندهم, it's not counted.
Oh, so how does it integrate to our learning? So that's really up to the teacher, how to integrate Khan Academy to their classroom. So each teacher will basically request certain assignments from the students through Khan Academy. It will request either time spent on certain practices. So that will be teacher guided, and the way it integrates into that course is really depending on the teacher. So I will leave that for each teacher to actually answer the parents' question in that regard. But as far as outside of teachers' assignments, it also can be used as a practicing tool for students. So if a parent is trying to help their students with a certain struggle, they can rely on Khan Academy to do that. It has the best videos to teach any skill in math or English or art or history or social studies. And also, in addition to that, it can be used as an incentive or consequence. So it can be another extracurricular activity, other than what. So, for example, my son is in, other than what he does assigned to him by his teacher, I have a chore for him during the weekend. One of the things he has to do is coding. So he learns coding in Khan Academy. That's one of his things that he does for half an hour every Saturday. He does coding on Khan Academy. So it is a source for all these multiple users.
Is it free?
It is 100% free.
Okay.
It's a non-profit organization.
Thank you, Mr. Sharafuddin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sarhan. Thank you, Mr. Amer. Thank you, all our listeners. And we hope to see you again next Friday in another family engagement broadcast. Next Friday, we will have for you a presentation from Access about mindfulness for students. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys. Be safe, guys.